Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Eisenhower Eagle Football Review. I'm Tim Meyer with Coach Chris Smith, and tonight you had a great game against the Plymouth Wildcats and beat them for the second straight year, 28-7, and I think you did manhandle them this time.
Yeah, I thought we made some mistakes offensively that we got to really clean up, but I thought really defensively we really played an outstanding game. Last year they kind of pounded us early in the game, but I think this year, our front seven I thought did an outstanding job.
And your quarterback, Max Whitwer, looked a little bit more comfortable back there and threw some touchdown passes.
Well, it's his junior year, but really he's considered a senior. He started his whole sophomore year, and he threw a couple picks in there. Maybe the ball was a little bit short, but I thought he did an outstanding job pulling himself together and really coming through. After those two picks, I thought he played an outstanding game.
And your defense played very well, really stopping their all-state running back, Timmons, number 4, doing a good job up front with the guys that you had from last year.
Yeah, those guys had to, have a great game today. We were playing against a good running football team, so that's where our experience is up front in that front seven. And we asked them we told them, they had to play a great game, and they really played a nice game, I thought, today.
We were particularly impressed with how quickly your offensive line came together.
Yeah, I knew we had guys, but it's the experience. You don't know how they're going to play once you're in a real game situation. Plymouth really has some good linemen defensively and offensively, so this was a great test for them. But you know what? We had a great test in our scrimmage against Dearborn-Fordson too, and I thought our offensive line played well in that scrimmage. So I think they carried it over and got better even from that scrimmage against this football team.
Who surprised you out there for the most part?
I think Ben Metz really had a great game out there at receiver. He caught the ball well. I wasn't expecting that. In practice he makes some good catches, but he really was outstanding today. And John Strobel at safety, almost had 3 picks there. He had 2, almost his 3rd pick. And, those 2 are a nice surprise today.
I know you told me in the preseason matchup against Fordson when we were out there in the scrimmage, you told me that you didn't have a punter. You were looking for one. And it looked like Cody Corey came up and punted a real bomb today.
Well, we didn't have a punter up until Wednesday. I mean, Cody Corey missed the first couple of days of practice because he's an archer and he's a world champion, and so he was in the world championships in shooting bow and arrow. So when he got there, I didn't even know he could punt. He never stepped up and said he could punt, and we were really still looking for a punter up until Wednesday. He goes, Coach, I can punt. Let me try it. So he stepped back there and booted a 55-yarder. I said, "You're the punter."
One kick tryout.
Kick tryout.
I noticed you're using some technology out there a little bit to help you guys. We noticed you guys had some screens out there on the sidelines. What's that all about?
Yeah, it's called Huddle Sideline. A lot of teams are starting to use it now, and it's valuable information. You get instant feedback on what they're doing to you, what your players are doing. What happens is whatever our film guy is filming up top, it goes automatically down to our sidelines to 6 different iPads. So the coaches can immediately watch the last player of the last series, go back, fast forward, rewind, slow motion, and you can, when the kids come off the field, you can really show them what's going on, what happened, what they did wrong, what they have to improve on. And it also gives the coaches an idea of how they have to game plan, for the next series.
Talk a little bit about next week's game against Dakota. You're going to be at their place again, and they handled Orchard Lake St. Mary's pretty good this week.
Yeah, I was at the game last night. The Dakota football team is, they're outstanding. They have a couple great receivers. They got a couple great slots, running back, quarterback, good offensive line, defense that flies the ball. It's probably one of the top talent-wise Dakota teams I've seen in a long time, if not maybe the most talented I've seen. So we're really going to have our hands full against them, but we're not scared. We're going to go out there and we're going to prepare our kids to go play, and we're going to give it the best we can against them.
Ryan Chargo, a couple of touchdown passes you hauled in today. Turned down the speed a little bit there on that second one. Tell us a little bit about that second touchdown.
The second touchdown, I made a double move on the corner. We saw there was a cover 3, and Max Whitwer threw a pretty pass, and we made a completion and scored a touchdown. That's all that matters.
Do you think you were going to catch up to that?
Yes, sir.
How about your first touchdown?
It's the same thing. The same defense they played. Made a good cut in the inside, threw the ball out in stride, had the afterburns on, scored.
How about this team and this win tonight? What does that mean for you guys on the offense?
Oh, it's a great start. We have the big deal in front of us. We have Dakota next week. Keep working. Got to reset our minds. Don't think about this game anymore. It's over in the past. So let's roll.
Talk a little bit about Max Whitwer and catching the ball from him. Now he's a junior. Looks like he has a little more zip on the ball.
Yep, he did a lot in the weight room. Just worked on over summer every single time. Me and him went out in the Eisenhower field. Just practiced.
So it's the first game. How tired are you?
That's all right. We had a lot of conditioning over practice, and paid off.
Okay, I know you want to say hello to some folks out there, so go ahead.
Say hi to my mom, my dad, my parents, my sister, my dog. He has cancer right now. He's not doing so well, so I wish him best of luck.
One of Eisenhower's co-defensive players of the game, Luke Jelli. And Luke, you were flying around a football all night tonight. Did you kind of surprise those guys?
Yeah, I really don't think they were used to it from last year. We played more conservative and more inside. This time we kind of chased the ball a lot more and kind of played downfield a lot more than we did last year.
You had a couple good hits, and one I remember on the sidelines with their quarterback that you got him pretty good. Did he grunt when you hit him?
He grunted. He let a little wheeze out, but it's the game. That's what I play for, baby.
Now, number 4, their running back Timmons is a pretty good Division I type player, and he had a couple good runs on you guys, but he didn't really break the long one. And what do you attribute that to?
We played a wolf pack mentality, really. When the D-line couldn't make the tackle, the backers would come in. We talked about it at practice, 11 helmets to the ball, 11 white jerseys to the ball. One guy would wrap him up, one guy would hit him, the third guy would bring him down. Our whole goal was no big plays. So if he got 10 yards, all right. If he got 20 yards, all right. But there's no breakaway plays because if he got out, he would be gone.
How much does it mean that most of you guys on the defense were juniors last year that were starting, and now you're out here, it's your senior year, and you're playing?
I feel like that really bonded us as friends and as a cohesive unit. Last year, a bunch of juniors, we were getting yelled at, do this, do that. We really didn't know what we were up against. This year, we got a bunch of guys, returning. They're not really expecting us to come back as tough and as hard as we did. And I just really think that we play as a pack and we play as just a bunch of friends on the field.
Well, I know you want to say hello to some folks out there, so go ahead.
What up, Justin Schoening? Jay Strobel, you're next. I see you right there. Shout out to you. Shout out to my parents. Shout out to the coaches, baby. Dave Drath, I love you.
John Strobel, our other co-defensive player of the game, he had 2 interceptions tonight and almost 3. Tell us about that first interception. You remember that one?
Yeah, the first one, more or less, I don't know. I was just so excited to see it. I jumped up in the sky, grabbed it, came down with it. I was just ready to take off. I stumbled a little bit, but, I was ready to get right back in the game. So.
Tell us about what you're reading on that second interception.
The second interception, I don't know. I don't really remember if they rolled out or not, but Coach was keying to pass a lot during practice. He was like, rolls out, watch 3 coming across the field, see if you can come into other zone, make the play. So I was more or less just listening to what my coach taught me.
Now, you played last year. You started last year. What kind of a big difference was that between last year and this year for you?
More or less starting last year. This year gave me the experience. I knew what I was doing coming in here. Had a little bit of confidence under my belt. Yeah.
Well, you guys look like you were hitting them pretty hard out there at defense. And did they say anything to you, or did you get a lot of grunts and groans?
Number 4, I don't know. Like, they were coming at him pretty hard every time, like in the pile. They were a little extra rough with him. But, I respect his play. I was most definitely, proud of him, proud of myself about the game that we played, and then we hugged it out in the end. So, yeah.
Well, how big is it for you? What do you feel like, and how big is it for you to have this first win and star in this first game?
I can't stop smiling on the inside. I'm trying to hold it in, to be honest.
Okay, I know you want to say hello to some folks out there, so go ahead.
Shout out to my dad. I love you. My mom, my parents, my family. Thank you, everything, Coach Breeze. My grandmother at home, and Eisenhower football.
Stay tuned for game highlights right after this.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football.
It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
And build
strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders.
And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
For the second year in a row, the Eisenhower Eagles opened the season against the Plymouth Wildcats. Ike won last year's contest at Barney Swinehart 38-24. This year, the Eagles travel to Plymouth for the rematch. Ike got the ball first, and Jack Preventure runs for 12 yards and an Eagle first down. Unfortunately, Max Whitwer would be picked off by Plymouth's number 21, Alan Farmer, who makes a nice interception here. On Plymouth's opening play, perennial All-Stater number 4 Darius Timmons would get 18 yards on the first play from scrimmage. With it 3rd and 9 at the Ike 37, number 42 Carlo Lachirco makes this big play for a loss, forcing the Wildcats to punt. On 3rd and 9 for Eisenhower, Max Whitwer would find number 6 Ryan Chargo for a big first down. Then Whitwer takes it himself. Unfortunately for the Eagles, their drive would end as Whitwer is picked off again, this time by Chase Timko. On 3rd and 8 for Plymouth, number 59 Drake Minnie forces a 4th down with this fine play. On Ike's first play from scrimmage after the Plymouth punt, Max Whitwer would find Ryan Chargo for this 72-yard pass play, good for the game's first score. Anthony Toko's extra point was good, and Ike led 7-0. The quarter would end with the Eagles on top. Ike stopped Plymouth on their next drive with the help of these two fine plays. On Ike's next drive, Ben Metz makes these nice catches to give the Eagles first downs. Despite those nice catches by Metz, the Eagles would be forced to punt. However, John Strobel would make this interception, giving the ball back to the Eagle offense. Ben Metz makes another big catch for an Eagle first down. This pass to number 2, Jake Albrecht, is good for 21 yards and another Eagle first down. The Eagles would go no further, and the half would end with this botched field goal by Eisenhower. Plymouth started the second half with the football, and the Eagles turned up the hitting. On 4th down, the Wildcats tried a fake punt, but the Eagles aren't fooled. With good blocking from his offensive line, Jack Preventure would get 14 yards on this play. Then Jake Albrecht would go around the right side, taking it 16 yards for the touchdown. The extra point was good, and Ike led 14-0. The Wildcats would come right back and get a touchdown pass from Zach Beadle to Chase Timko. The extra point was good, and Ike's lead was cut to 14-7. On the ensuing kickoff, Jake Albrecht gets a good return. Tack on a personal foul penalty against the Wildcats. And it was 1st and 10 for Eisenhower at the Plymouth 40. Max Whitwer would pick up 9 yards on this run. Whitwer would find Ryan Chargo for this 26-yard scoring strike. The extra point was good, and Ike now led 21-7. On 3rd and 9 for Plymouth at the Eagle 34, this pass by Beadle is tipped and intercepted by John Strobel, his second of the game. How about this nice catch by Jake Albrecht? The Eagle drive moved into the fourth quarter. Eisenhower was forced to punt, however, but they get this beauty by Cody Corey. On 3rd down from the Plymouth 24, this Wildcat pass is broken up by John Strobel, who almost comes up with another interception. On 4th down, the Wildcats elect to go for it, and number 52, Danny Schmick, makes this big tackle for a loss, turning the ball over to the Eagle offense. Ike would attempt a field goal, and Plymouth is called for roughing the kicker. However, the second attempt was no good. With 8:30 left to play in the fourth quarter, the Eisenhower defense shut down the Wildcat offense. On 4th and 1, Plymouth went for it. They fumbled. The ball was recovered by the Eagles' number 60, Sal Voltaggio, and it's 1st and 10 Eisenhower. With it 4th and 6 on the Plymouth 22-yard line, Ben Metz would take this pass in for the touchdown. The extra point was good, and Ike led it now 28-7. On 3rd down, Ike would force the Wildcats to punt by stopping this run. Number 84, Assad Buhaidar, makes these nice nifty moves and runs for a first down. The Wildcats, however, would get the ball back on this Eagle fumble. But the Eagle defense kept Plymouth out of the end zone with their no-fly zone defense. Brandon Hicks wraps things up for Eisenhower with this run. The final score, Eisenhower 28, Plymouth 7. Stay tuned for our special feature right after this. Well, folks, we are out here at Cracklewood Golf Course in Macomb Township for the Eisenhower Eagle football golf outing. And I want to tell you, there was a great time for yours truly and everybody here that participated in this fine event. So, Coach, it's been a while since we have an Eisenhower football golf outing. Tell us a little bit of how you got it back and revived it.
You know what, John DeGiorgio said, hey, let's get a golf outing with some of the guys he played with and some alumni. It's simple, let's get it back together.
So who's out here today that you saw looks pretty good?
You know what, I saw Dave Brzezinski's a pretty good player. He's got a good group right now, so it's hard to say. There's a lot of guys that can hit the ball, and but really they're out here to have fun and to really talk about memories that they've had, playing at Eisenhower.
And you guys raised a little money for the football team.
Yeah, I mean, that's the main thing. We're trying to get a camera that records from behind, so I think this golf outing is going to really help us to get some of the things that we really need for our program.
So, John, you put this golf outing together. How hard was that? How'd you do it?
Well, it wasn't very difficult considering the five parents that I had. Had a very supportive group that have helped out a lot. Went to a spring meeting back in May and asked for some help, and 5 parents that came together and really helped me out with this outing, and something great for our program and great for the Eisenhower community.
So you didn't golf at all today?
No, didn't golf at all today. I had a lot of administrative stuff to do early on, and just wanted to go out with Coach Smith and kind of greet some of the golfers and hang out with some of the people that are volunteering today and make this outing successful just the way it was.
Tell us a little bit about what the folks, when they come out here, what's planned out for them besides the golf. What else do they get?
Well, besides the golf, they get dinner. There's a lot of prizes they can win. They had a longest drive competition for Payway gift cards. That was one of our sponsors today. We had a Vegas Hole Challenge here today where they got to double their money, and we had some great volunteers that helped out today, guys that we coach with that are familiar with a lot of people that were here today, at the outing and did a great job collecting money. There was another hole sponsorship out there, and just a lot of great sponsors. A lot of people came together to make this outing a great one, and I'm very proud of it.
So it takes a lot of people to put on a golf outing, and not just John DeGiorgio, we talked to him earlier today, but talking to some of the parents that have volunteered, Chris and Don Surma, how hard was it? Whose idea was it? How'd you get it together? Tell me how it all came together.
Well, so Coach DeGiorgio came into the group, asked us for some volunteers, Anna Minnie, and who else?
Debbie Stone.
Debbie Stone stepped up, and they got with Coach DeGiorgio and pulled it all together.
And what were some of the challenges you guys faced?
Well, number one's getting golfers, right? So there's a lot of charities, a lot of events that people have to do, and they worked very hard. We called friends, they called friends and family members, and I think we ended up with 154, if I'm not mistaken, golfers today.
Yeah.
So a good turnout.
It was a great turnout. Great day, great weather, a lot of fun.
Talk a little bit about your thoughts about how the golf outing went today.
I think it went really well for first annual. Hopefully there'll be many more to come. We had great basket raffles from all kinds of donations from many different businesses, and I think it went very well.
And how hard was it to get donations?
Not hard, surprisingly. This year, when you say you're with the Ike football program, they hand you stuff. It's they know about Eisenhower football, and they're very generous.
Little bit about possibly next year. Is there any plans for next year's golf outing?
Yes.
I hope there's plans for
Yes.
Yeah, we are planning for next year as well. Make it bigger.
So the folks should get their balls polished and their clubs sharpened and get ready to get out here.
If they weren't here today, they missed a great event, a great day, and they really should be here next year.
Any special people you want to thank?
Like I said, Debbie Stone and Anna Minnie, Steve Nadolski, Coach DeGiorgio, of course, Tim Humpert. I think that's
Janeway's.
Oh, Janeway's. They donated a lot.
Yeah.
Hank and Liz Janeway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we missed anybody, we're sorry. But there were a lot of people, right? A lot of people involved to make this happen. Went off seamless. It does not seem like it was an inaugural year.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here on the Eisenhower Eagle Football Review. For Coach Chris Smith, I'm Tim Meyer saying we'll see you next time right here on the Eisenhower Eagle Football Review.